It was a second, probably only at Coronation Street in the soap opera, and it had been on since '56, and everyone knew that show. So that was a really big coup, you getting that role.
Yes, it was. How long had it been going before I got in there? It was quite a while.
56 it started.
Oh yeah, so it was quite a while when I came in here,
Yeah. Now, could you remember anything about that?
Yes, I can. Not that particular episode, but I can in the later one. We were, because most of us, the patients, we were waiting to sort of come on, lying on either beds or trolleys or whatever, you know. So on this particular day, I must have been on a sort of gurney thing, or it was a table that wasn't too, you know, stable. And we're waiting there, and I think, I can't remember who was with me, but we were all chatting away, you know. And before it started. And then we get the news that there had been some sort of breakdown or strike or something. I think it might have been a strike, actually. And this was probably only about a quarter of an hour or half an hour before we started. And so they said, well, you're going to have to do it live, or we'd have to cancel the episode. So what are you going to do? So I think we all sort of said, live? And I'd done quite a bit of live stuff, because growing up in Australia, we didn't get television until the mid-50s. So when television started, I happened to be working there, you know, and I did a lot of live stuff. So I was aware of doors not opening, sets falling down, all that sort of thing. So I thought, Cecilia, yeah.
Well, that, I mean, I don't know if they kept you in a state of undress, but that must have been tricky if it was live.
Well, I was on my front. I lied because my back was burnt, you see, so I couldn't really turn over. So this particular one, yes, we're lying there and chatting away. And they're saying, all right, we're going to be ready to go in 2 minutes, whatever. And someone says, what's that noise? I said, what noise? They said, there's a noise going on. It's like a shuddering or something. And someone said, God, it's your trolley, looking at me. I'm lying there, and it hit me that it was going to be live. And I'm lying there, and I didn't know it's going... I thought, oh my, because my head went blank. And then off we went, and I got my call, and it was pushed on, or whatever it was. And then suddenly it did kick in. So the trolley stopped making the noise, and I managed to speak. But all of us were really, what, live? The others weren't too good about it either, but they didn't have a shaky bed.
So I suppose, when I've talked to people who worked in TV that time, very often they've never seen their performances.
No.
And because this stuff wasn't repeated. So had you ever seen that before,
No.
do you think?
No. I might have seen one little snippet at some point, I remember. Or maybe it was just me looking in the mirror and seeing, well, in future episodes, certain skinny things, you know. I spent a long time in the makeup later on. What was the question?
No, I was just saying that people in the 60s, actors, they very rarely saw their performances on TV.
Yes, no. There was a whole lot of stuff, because I've looked down at times at the list of, you know, what did I do then, back then? And I keep looking down thinking, what was that? I don't remember that. Oh, I know the name of it. Was I in that? Gosh, what did I do? I mean, if you just, because we were going in those days, it was so wonderful. Because it was going in, you'd get one job, and then you'd get a job while you were doing that for another thing. You might have a few days in between, or a week, 2 weeks, and you were running to the casting director saying, I need a job. Is there something coming up? I mean, not like today.
But you were very busy at that time, weren't you? And I wondered if this particular show had helped with that, because it was, as I say, such a hugely popular show.
It may well have been. I don't know, because, you know, you just flitted in a way and thought, oh, good, I'm working on that, you know. I liked working on there. The cast were lovely. And the regulars, who can be a little tricky, you know, obviously if they're used to working with all their friends and things, and then someone new comes in, you have to sort of, meld with them a bit. But they were lovely. I made a couple of friends there. And I remember, can I tell you? Remember one night with John in Carlisle, and I can't remember the other one, the smaller doctor, but I can't remember his name.
The one involved in the first interracial kiss on British television.
Yes. They came over to my flat, and I was sharing a flat with the nurse, and the pretty nurse in it, yeah. And we were quite friendly. And they came over to have a cup of coffee, and we had a chat and things. They said, let's have a game of poker. All right, I said, okay. So we had a few hands. Who won? I won £20. In those days, that was big money. And the guys were, oh God.
So you alluded to the fact that it's an ensemble piece, and obviously they're together all the time. You come in as a guest star, which can be tricky sometimes.
Yes.
Especially, but they're doing a twice a week, so they've probably got into a routine.
That's right.
Things have to be done quite quickly. You can't take time out. You can't make mistakes really in those environments.
No, not when you were doing the television. Filming is different. You have your time off the set and all that. But you have to be riding the wings with these ones. You've got to know what you're going to do. Quick dressing, quick changes. And you've got to be back. I didn't have any quick changes.
No, you were lucky in some ways. Yeah.
Yes.
You were doing most of your acting horizontally.
Oh, maybe all of it. I don't think you've seen me stand up, I'm not sure.
So you could have done that while in your sleep.
Yeah. No.
Well, it's great that Film is Fabulous has found those episodes.
Oh,
and we will try and find a time between us when we can put all the episodes together and do a complete run of that story. Which I think, is, although Justin said 6, I think your story arc is in 4, is it?
No, it's the whole 6.
It is 6, right,
yeah,
okay.
It goes right across. So,
6 of them?
Yeah. And we've got all 6, have we?
We have. And they look great. And I should say a big thank you to David Pulfrey, who's here, for the work he did on scanning and grading. Doesn't it look good?
It really did, yeah.
The work that you're doing is absolutely terrific. I'm thrilled because there are so many times I've spoken with other actors and we've said, oh, you did that. Oh, what did you do in that? I don't know. Where did it go? I don't know. I mean, there are a couple that I really would love to be found because I worked in it, and I know there was one particular one where I enjoyed so much, and I know I did a good performance despite a lot of things going on in the rehearsals, and I think that one has been lost completely. So I would love to.
Yeah, you mentioned
it too.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple in your email to me, and if we can make a list, we'll check and make sure if they have turned up in the interim. It's difficult to look for them individually. It's the other way around. What happens is people bring in a bunch of stuff, and you have to look through them.
Yeah, and it's particularly interesting when you reach my age, and then you're looking back how many decades.
Let's not go there.
Did I really do that? Did I look like that? Ooh. Didn't I wear any clothes? Gosh.
I mean, despite the fact that very often with television you couldn't often see yourself back, are you one of these actors that doesn't like looking at yourself act, or are you at home watching yourself?
No, I quite like looking at it because I want to know. It's not that I want to know what I did and what I had in mind. And did it actually come across? Was I working with the director or not? Did I work with that actor very well or not? I mean, it's interesting because from there, I mean, you do wish I could go back and do it again, if you can't. But it lets you see how you've progressed, if you have, and you have, and whether it was from your intuition or there are a couple of things I've done that I have seen, which I remember was from the director, who, was wonderful. He gave me a hard time. And through that, because of that, I gave a very much better performance. Because he made me think about it. He made me, you can do it. He got annoyed with me, but not to the point where someone terrifies you. I've had those too. That's not so good. But yes, I think it's an interesting. You're working in something. You want to see what you did. It's like a carpenter or a carver or something like that, or a painter. That's what I did back then. But I improved there, or it's interesting.
I thought you were very good in that. As I say, it's very difficult to come into that ensemble piece and to have a story built around you like that. And it's given me a taster to see the rest. And I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. Just a bit of housekeeping. Our next performance in here is happening quite quickly, so if you could vacate with all speed, because very often at these events people have to hang around and have a chat, but I'd appreciate it if you did it in the foyer rather than the auditorium. First of all, thanks to you so much for coming along and supporting Mrs. Bully White again. We do try and get stuff every year for you, and I think next year we'll have an extra one as well, so there'll be more to look forward to. I'd like to thank all my guests and the material they provided for today's show, but in particular, please you show your appreciation for our special guest, Annette Andre.